Hello guys, it's dlwalker back. I'm battling along. I just had my liquid radiation number 3 on Wednesday. Today's Sunday. Not feeling too great, plus I blew my whole lower back out. I was just twist wrong and I'm screwed. That's why I got this belt on. Anyway, I couldn't take it anymore in the house. I came out and just being super careful. Tried to work on the Hornet a little bit. My 25 SP1000 for therapy. So you might have watched my first video of me test riding the bike, giving you my impressions. I'll put the link to that one in case you missed it. But the 2 complaints I have about this bike, obviously it's neutered on performance, but we'll fix all that, is the seat shoves you right into the gas tank. It's hard as a brick. And the bars for me are too aggressive. Those 2 things combined, when you're on the brakes going into a corner, you're really getting pressure on your wrist because the bars are a lot lower and the seat's downhill and you're pushing off the whole time to keep off the tank. So I did some mods. I'm going to mod the seat. I'm going to show you a few things that I've done. I've got some really beautiful bar risers I put on it. I'll show you those in a second. I got some black levers, some Asian black levers. I'll tell you those are good or bad. I put a nice radiator guard, and a matter of fact, in this video, when I get to that, I'm going to do a little install tips on that. I just did it. And what else did I do? Grips. I used the Pro Gel grips, and I'll talk about those. So let me think about which one I'm going to do first, and we'll be right back and we'll go over it. All right, guys, first let's go over the taking care of the handlebars. I ordered 3 different sets of bar backs that I took the measurements and stuff. They're universal, but made sure they fit this bike, or thought they would. And I like this set the best. I didn't try the other 2 on, I just sent them back. These were under $50, I think, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're made in China, but they got the little ball ends, ball mill on them. Kind of matches the Honda, and they fit perfect. But let me tell you what I did. I was worried about the clutch cable and the lines not reaching. So I'm going to take the light away because I might have to point with my finger. So what you get out of these is 1 inch taller and 1 3/4 inch back. And I put them on there and I said, no way in hell that clutch cable and those lines are going to reach. But I made them work. So what I did, you pop out some push pins, you get this out a little bit here, and this clutch hose has a metal bracket. It's usually down here. You can get to it with a long wobbly and a deep socket, and then you can spread it open and get it out of there. I left a little rubber thing on it. Doesn't look that bad, so when you turn all the way to the left, it's protecting the line. Then these have push pins that you can release and get out, but they also have some tape on them. So I was able to break loose the tape with a little screwdriver in between and some window cleaner, and I slid that down and put them back in. So they absolutely look factory when you get done. I took these clips off just to play with it. The clutch cable I left hooked up. I had a towel on the tank. The bars, I took the key out, put all towel on everything. The bars were laying in here. So then what I did is, when you turned it fully to the left to lock, the clutch cable would actually reach, but it was tight. It didn't take the inner cable play out. It would still work, but it was tight because that's where it's routed right there on those fins through that cover. Comes up through the motor, behind the plastic panel, and that's where it comes out. Well, what I did is this. I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to put a clip in. Yeah, well, I have this soft thing with the radiator guard. This had one more fin hanging down here. Okay. and I trimmed it off with a pair of diagonal pliers. Then I took it off and I hand sanded it, and now I just marked it with the felt pen, and it looks like it's not even there. And that gives you more clearance when you turn the bars all the way to the left for the clutch cable. It wouldn't really hurt it, but it was right against the plastic, tugging on it. Oh, here's my phone. But yeah, just remove that one bottom one there for the bar risers we're talking about right now, and that cures that. It works fantastic. Nobody will know but you. You do it clean like I did. See, so you see that? Now you see where it's routed right there, and when you turn all the way to the left, you got slack. It's not tugging super tight on it. And yeah, I cleaned it up like I said in the little clip. So that was done, and then I lifted it up real hard, and they went over the top without scratching the bars. And then this is what it looks like. And it comes with 4 caps. And then I use the stock caps down in here because these Allens are exposed still. And does that look beautiful or what? And man, does it feel good now. So that's what I did on the bars. Okay, these levers, I hunted and hunted because they're like a Fireblade, I think 2018 1000 Fireblade is the same levers. These again are made in China. They're on. I bought them on eBay. I've seen some other guys use them. They look nice. They're kind of hokey. They will work. This one's just got the stock levers, of course, fit perfect, right? This doesn't have a bushing in it. It's got a little bit of run out, and if you look there, there's a little gap. But you can still adjust the clutch. This is going to work just fine. Okay, feel good, look beautiful. This one, on the other hand, fit perfect. But the little knob was locked up and it's defective. The one you turn this to make your clutch in or out further from your fingers. I sprayed some WD in there. I was real careful, put some grease on the little pin for the brake switch. And it works, and once you get it set, it's probably gonna be fine. But in my opinion, this is a defect or a piece of junk. So I got a hold of the company. Maybe they'll send me another set, but I just wanted to let you know that. I'll put the link for these two. It will work. You can, once you get it set, it's probably going to be fine. And that's that. So then I just, let me see what else I'm doing. Is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to the seat. I'm going to turn the camera off, take the seat off, then I'm going to show you. But again, here is the finished radiator guard. And at the end here, let's make that separate, and I did a little install with tips on it. I'll put that at the end, okay? Okay, let me get the seat off, show you what I have in mind just for an experiment. This is comfort and functional. All right, guys, I bought a little box of 3-inch ID, 3/8-inch ID, 1-inch long, 1 inch in diameter, rubber bushing, spacers, whatever you want to call them. They're available anywhere. I just bought a random set on Amazon. All right, because the front of the seat needs to come up, right, to keep you from sliding off the tank. Now, this is just a reference point for me to go out and try this first. So what I did, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I experimented with the bike off the stand. I'll take it off the stand in a minute. I'm just showing you what I did. If you wanted to try this, the back bolts still hold the seat in place from sliding, but your tongue's not going to be hooked in anymore. You're just going to be sitting on it, okay? And I just extended. There's a hole in the stock rubber bumpers. I'm not pulling these out because I got them forced in there. So I took these and I put them on this piece of tubing I had that was just a hair over 3/8. I measured and put a silver dot on them with a Sharpie, 5/8 of an inch. Then I put that in my jaws, the rubber vise jaws outside, and I used a hacksaw, and I went really easy turning it, and then I cut them off pretty sweet. They're real close on the money, a 5-inch. And then I used a 3/8, obviously wooden dowel. I had to buy this package, or my friend bought them for me from Ace Hardware. The hole in these are a teeny bit bigger, so I use Tessa tape a lot around here. It's fantastic. Tessa tape is a high quality cloth black tape made for wiring harness and all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. It's not gooey, and this is the one you want. Part number 51036, Tessa brand. There's other brands that are cheapo, they're paper thin. Spend the money on this one. They have it on Amazon. So I wrapped the bottom of the dowel where it was tight in the bottom rubber. Then I shoved it in there, and then I took it to my disc sander over there, and I very easily brought them down flush. And I had to go real easy. I had to check it a couple times. Yeah, so then what I'm going to do is here I'm going to put the Tessa tape around this too, just to go ride it. I don't think they would go anywhere, but I'm going to tape that up real neat too to test it. But let me stick it on the bike. I'll take the bike down off the stand so it's level, how it would be on the ground, and I'll show you the side profile of the seat. Okay guys, the bike is down on my lift, front wheels clamped down, and the seat is 5/8 of an inch taller. Now you can see the front right there, where the seat would be, way downhill, pointed downhill. Your private parts are on the tank all the time. Now it's just, you see the slope. Again, this is just for a test, because when I heal up, probably around the end of the month, I'm going to go make the trip all the way from Nevada to Hollister, California, to Corbin Saddles. Mike is a lifelong friend of mine. I've known him about 45 years. And I make about, I did make when I was still open, Holeshot Performance products. I make about 20 of my own seats, my shape, everything. He doesn't have one of these bikes yet. He has the 750 done, but not the 1000. So I'm going to take the trip all the way down there. And I know the guys in R&D where they make the seats. They've all been there for years. They're friends of mine too. And I'm going to shape with them, but I'll be doing the shaping on the seat for Mike for the Hornet 1000 SP US model. So this is just to get an idea how I like it, whether it should be down a little more. This seat's still hard as a brick. There's still a lot of shaping to do, but look at that now, instead of downhill. So that's that. And once I bolt this in here, obviously it can't go anywhere, and it's up off the tab, so it's not going to break the. See, it's not going to break. You can't see it, and I don't have a light in my hand, but it's not going to break the tongue off. So that's that. This is just a quick shot, real quick, of the side panels back on, the seat bolted down, and kind of what we're looking at here. Obviously, when we design a new seat, this is all going to be filled in, and this is going to be all swoopy, and I'm going to taper off the corners where it hits on your thighs, and it's a short surface, man, so it ain't going to be touring, but I know I can make it better than this thing. But that's it. Part number for the grips, Pro Grip 719 open end. These are my favorite grip of all time. They're only about an 1/8 inch larger than the stock grip. Okay, and God, They're comfortable as can be, suck up more vibration. They're just wonderful. Got that handled. Okay, the other thing I did was the J-Tech from the UK rear tidy tail, and it's very high quality. The only thing is the US bikes, the bolts are out here for your license plate. So I'll come up with a solution with that. I'm thinking about a piece of 1/4-inch thick aluminum flat bar, and I'll make some bracket. Maybe I can countersink it and have the bolts come out here, and I'll use some black crown nuts or something. But I'll figure that out. I just wanted to show you that J-Tech. Very thick, very sturdy, really nice. And I think that's about it. Okay guys, this is the radiator guard I ordered on Amazon. It's made in Asia. Looks pretty nice. We'll see if it fits for my 2025 Hornet 1000 SP. It's got nice little brackets on there. It's pretty sturdy. If everything lines up and everything, it should work pretty good. So, quick rundown, real quick. I'm doing it right now. I might as well show you how. I'm not going to show every little turn of a screw. Okay, first you got to remove, let me go around the other side. I've got parts laying out over here. First you have to remove the outer covers, the cosmetic covers. Okay, that's number one. And on the back, there's a little tab right here, okay, that goes in this hole. So you reach behind there and just push out on it. It's not a clip, it's just in the hole. That way you're not forcing it. Push on the back, pop it out, and straight up. That little finger there goes in that slot. It's as easy as that. So you remove these two bolts off the surface. Okay. And that takes a 6mm Allen. Okay, and then there's a little push pin. You get the light right there. See that? Typical little push pin. Okay, I always use a 3mm ball end little T-handle. That works slick. Pops it right in. You can get your fingernails, pull it right out. Okay, then there's two black 6mm again, but they're black, and it also takes a 6mm. Is it a 6 or a 5? Whatever one it takes. Okay, and they go right here to hold this plastic piece in place, along with the push pin. So once you get that out of the way and detach, now I should have enough room. See that right there without taking the whole darn thing off? See that gap in there? To slide up the radiator cover, slip it over, because then it goes right on that hole right there against that bracket. See the bracket? Right. Kind of hard to tell. See the little hole in there? Behind the rubber? That's where it's going to slide over, and then the finger goes on this side of the radiator even. So let me do that. I'm by myself. I can't hold the camera while I'm doing it. And let me show you how it fit and go from there. Okay guys, it was still a little tight. I could have weaseled it in there by forcing it, but there's only two more push pins right there to take out, and then you can take the whole plastic panel out. It weasels out. This side's a little tighter because you got the clutch cable right there, and you know, but it will come out. The other side pretty much fell out, so it's just two more push pins, and then in here there's these little metal sleeves, so don't lose them. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to put a little super glue on them, Loctite super glue, and put them in here, and they'll just live there from now on. That way if you ever take it apart, you're not going to drop it and have it roll away like always happens. So now let me get this thing up there, and I'll show you in a second, see how it works. Alright guys, I test fit it, and all I had to do is bend one of these tabs out just a little bit, and then they supply some foam here so it's not against the radiator itself. And so I just kind of centered it, two pieces. There's one for top and bottom. Keep it below the outer surface so it's not hanging out looking ugly. And now we can go ahead and put it on. I eyeballed the holes where the pins are going to go through, and they look like they lined up pretty decent. But let me get started, and I'll get it on there, and then we'll see. Alright guys, it's all installed. I think it turned out pretty damn nice. And I'll put the link for you from Amazon. I think this one was only like $50 or something like that. Because you're going through the aluminum here though, there is enough length, but make sure the push pin is pushed all the way in and you got it bottomed. Then it will click and it does grab it. When you're doing that without this on, so you can look at the back and make sure it's fully seated in there. And get all your push pins in. This is very important to get the top one slid in, like I was talking about on the other side. And don't force it. When it's right, it just pops in and then everything lines up and you don't have a gap here. If you got a gap here, you're pushing on the little tab in the back, you might break it. So make sure these are right before you snug these down. And then underneath, you got some little spacers that they provided. I tried it with and without the spacers, but just put the spacers like this. They don't have any instructions, and it has a little nylock on the back, and just lightly snug those. 3mm Allen and an 8mm box end. But yeah, I think for a low cost one, it's just as good as the expensive ones to me. So that's it on the radiator guard. Oh, one more thing I did that you guys all do too. I like the Optima brand little pigtail for like battery tenders or chargers. They're really heavy duty. They got a nice thick gray cover on them so no debris gets in there. And what's nice about the Hornet is you got this cavity next to the battery, so all the residual length of wire was able to stuff right down in there. Real clean. It's got the fuse built in just right there. It looks like factory. And I brought it down right from here. 2 heavy-duty nylon ties right there, and that's where it's going to live. Then all I did was take a little pair of scissors and I trimmed this surface off just a little bit, and now it sits nice and flat, just like it's came that way. So thought I'd show you that. Okay guys, I guess this is going to do it for this little comfort and updates. Comfort and function. Yeah, I'll name it comfort and function. So, little overview of what I've been doing so far. I gathered all the parts. This is where I'm at. I did just get the Dominator slip-on from Poland in. I'm using the one that comes up the side. Still got a giant hole in it. And I'll probably go with, even though I have my own dyno, I don't want to flash ECUs. So I'll probably go with Nate on this one at 2-wheel dyno works. I'll make my stock pulls. I'm going to call him and say exactly what mode he runs his in, stock. I'll put it in my dyno room, we'll run that same mode. Then I'll go ahead and get the bike pulled apart. I think there's a K&N that also fits his bike, that fits also the Fireblade. And it's a lot cheaper than the DNA or some other ones. And then I'll send the ECU off, I'll pull it all apart. Maybe I'll do a video of taking that out of the bike for you. And I'll get it to him, and then we'll get it back with the air filter, just the slip-on. The muffler, like I said, I didn't measure it, but I looked at it, and I make my own mufflers. I used to. It's a big hole, and it's a perforated core. Even though it's not the little shorty that's like no muffler at all, it's still going to be pretty freaking loud. I'd say it's 2 1/8 or 2 1/4 inch ID, big. Does have a dB killer, we'll try that too. If that only hurts it a couple horsepower, I'll run it, I don't care. That's why I'm keeping the cat in this. That'll also make it slightly quieter. And let's face it, it's still gonna pick up 35 horsepower or something. So, okay, this ends this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, you learned something for your Hornet, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and please make a comment of what you think I'm doing and experimenting here. And we're going to be going down to Corbin in a while, but hopefully my back heals, I get a little better. I'll go for a test drive. I'll give you my impression of the bars and the seat for now. So we'll see you later. God bless you all. Thanks a lot. See you next time.